It's been a while since I've posted a video on YouTube, and I apologise for that. Unfortunately, life got in the way, big time. And for me, that meant that one morning I woke up with a pistol in my face and 3 armed men in the house. They held us up for 40 minutes, stole the car, stole the camera equipment, stole the kettle, the toaster, and the vacuum cleaner. But I guess that is life in South Africa. Anyway, in this video, which I filmed before the incident, you're going to catch up with me and James as we explore Oliphant's camp in the Kruger National Park. And Oliphant's is famous, as you can probably guess, for its elephants. This morning we've decided to patrol the banks of the Oliphant's River down the gravel road from the camp, and there's a gorgeous golden sunrise off to the east, but not much game. It's quiet, it's cold, but we've got our eyes peeled. Camera isn't on. It's always nice to stop at a lookout point along one of the rivers here at Kruger. Really gorgeous in this morning light with the sun coming up over there. And we found a beautiful robin singing in a tree nearby, which in this cool air is really coming out quite nicely in the photographs that we're taking. But it's great just to stand here, admire the view, and warm up a little bit in this glorious African sunrise. Well, we've just stopped to photograph something a little bit unusual. It's a baobab tree, rather nicely lit in this morning light, and with just a hint of haze behind it to set off the shadow against the highlights. And this tree looks really quite strange. It's got a very thick trunk curling around to the right. Just makes a nice photograph. So now that we have turned into fully fledged botanical photographers,
perfect.
James is exploring the capabilities of his telephoto lens on a small rock fig tree growing out of a rock, no less.
If that's a really shit shot, you're not allowed to keep that segment in.
Apparently I'm not allowed to keep that segment in if it's a shit shot. Let's hope it's good. Let's hope it's good.
You call me a saint, but you know I'm a stranger, all willing and able to do what you want. You think I'm a thinker, but I'm just a singer, all busy and pretty, just making believe. Boy, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling down to obscurity. Don't let me ever be this alone. I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling. Shouldn't be trusting me, I could be making it all up, you know. I control, you don't know me. I'm a danger to myself. I control, you don't know me. I am fading unfelt.
We've got a nice herd of elephants down here on the Oliphant's River, which is fairly aptly named. We've been photographing them for about half an hour, and it's actually quite nice sitting here in the middle of the day, having a bit of time to burn, relaxing, and snapping away with our cameras. So these elephants are a bit farther away than I'd like. So we're having to use quite extreme focal lengths, but it doesn't matter because the spectacle is still quite exquisite.
falling. Shouldn't be trusting me, I could be making it all up, you know. I control, you don't know me. I'm a danger to myself. I control, you don't know me. I am fear being unfair.
We're just taking a moment, it's about 3:15 in the afternoon before our afternoon game drive, to check out the view from Oliphant's camp. We're staying here tonight and last night actually, and it's a wonderful camp situated on a rocky promontory above the confluence of the Letaba and Oliphant's River. It's got a wonderful vista and view from the lookout point over the game-rich areas and riverbanks where these two rivers meet. So we're rolling down the hill from Oliphant's rest camp out on our afternoon drive. It's about 3:30, and the idea here is to drive out of camp, reposition ourselves, and then come up back north towards camp with the sun over on our left, so we're shooting out the right-hand window with the beautiful golden winter light shining onto any animals that we might see in front of our lenses. Well, it's 5:15, which is about 15 minutes to camp closing time. We're quite close to camp, and we've completed our loop around. And nothing spectacular today, but a really nice afternoon nonetheless. We've seen lots of impala, but beautiful, gorgeous light shining down across the river valley on my right, and a wonderful waterbuck sighting a little bit earlier with that backlighting of the setting sun through the shaggy coat of those wonderful creatures. And it really does make, to me, a compelling photograph. I really enjoy backlit waterbuck. I don't know what it is about them, but they're just rather cuddly. Well, it's all hands on deck now, because we've got to cook supper in a little time window before we go out on a night drive this evening with the park this time. So it'll be a bunch of us in the back of a safari vehicle with some spotlights, and hopefully we'll see some interesting stuff, some of the animals that come out at night. I'm not sure how much of it I'll be able to vlog, but I'll certainly do my best. Sadly, our night drive was a little bit disappointing. The vehicle was huge, we raced through the bush, and we didn't really see that much. I guess that kind of thing is always a bit of a tourist trap. Anyway, no visit to the Elephant Road or this part of Kruger is complete without a visit to Letaba. Letaba is a camp that's perfectly situated. It's on the banks of a river with plenty of water. It's got tall mapani trees, the elephant's favourite food, and has always attracted big herds of these wonderful creatures. And it's probably apt that it's home to Kruger's own elephant museum. And once you walk inside this place, and this was my first visit, I was struck by the monstrous size of the tusks of the creatures preserved here. And it's sad for me to say that I have never seen a live elephant with tusks that big. And that is a sad indictment of what we humans have done to this population and this amazing creature. To think that these things roamed the world with tusks that dragged on the floor 14 feet, 12 feet high, standing next to them, is a real eye-opener. So you need to smell right, you know, when you come to the bush.
Not on YouTube, you know.
For the animals, otherwise they won't trust you.
Is that why we haven't seen dogs?
Yeah, you've been changing your boxes. That's clearly the.
Sorry. Serious.
Today is our last day in Kruger, and we're taking the opportunity to drive south through most of the park from Oliphants, which is halfway up. And remembering that this park is the size of Israel, or maybe even bigger than Israel. No disrespect to Israel, but that's pretty big. And we've got quite a long way to go. But one of the nice parts of the park is the one we're driving in now, which is this sort of savanna area around the camp of Satara. And Satara is famous for plains game, lots of prey species and predators. Not that we've seen any, but we're hopeful. One of the good things about travelling on the tar roads for long distances in Kruger is pretty much invariably you do bump into a cat or two. But that usually means bumping into a bit of traffic as well. So one of the nice things about driving down the tar road, despite the traffic, is you run into cool sightings like this, which is a lioness which seems to be separated from the rest of the pride. And she's a little bit restless, but we don't really understand why. It might be because she wants to go and have a drink of water. It might be because she's separated from the other lions in the pride and she just wants to keep in touch. Or it might be because she wants to gut up and go and find some better shade. So these are the queries and the questions that run through a lioness's head. And if you can dial into that, there's a chance if you wait that you might see them walk somewhere and flop down in some new position. Something exciting like that anyway. Well, it's been a great few days and hopefully we've got a few nice photographs to show for it. There's a long drive home, so I think I'll see you next time.